अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णाप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। गुरवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालिये कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। आनंद लीलामय विग्रहाय हेमावदिव्य छवि सुंदराय तस्मै महाप्रेम रसप्रदाय चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते। चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते। चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते। Hare Krishna. The Srimad Bhagavatam in the second canto, third chapter, text 17, very beautifully describes Ayur harati vaipumsam udhyan astam chayan asau tasyarte yakshanau nita uttama shloka vartayat. What does this verse mean? Shukadev Goswami says, Ayur harati vaipumsam udhyan astan chayan asau. With every rising and setting of the sun, every one of us is going one day closer, one day inside the jaws of death, called as jaws of crocodile, called as death. With every rising and setting of the sun, every single person is getting one day closer to the inevitable death. But Shukadev Goswami makes this point that for someone who is not discussing the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, those who is not discussing the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, for them they are getting closer to death. But for someone who is every single day discussing and contemplating and meditating on the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, by discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, by discussing Chaitanya Charitamrita, by discussing Bhagavad Gita, and by discussing so many other scriptures, for them, with every rising and setting of the sun, they are not getting closer to death, but they are getting closer to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, that is Sri Krishna. To have an eternal relationship with that Supreme Lord, where there is no birth, there is no death, there is no old age, and there is no disease. There is no COVID, there is no any of those diseases. So it is very important that every single day, as much as possible, one should take out time to hear about the Lord, read about the pastimes of the Lord, so that with every rising and setting of the sun, the fear of death can be completely removed, and the happiness of getting the lotus feet of the Lord at the end of this lifetime can be developed. So with this theme of discussion, we will try to speak something on the seventh canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam from the point where we left off last week. So just a quick recap of where we left off. We were at the sacrificial arena where the Rajasuya Yagya was going on. And this Rajasuya Yagya was organized by Yudhishthir Maharaj. And in this sacrificial arena, all the big dignitaries were invited in the form of Narad Muni, in the form of Sahadev, Nakul, Arjun, Bhima. Krishna himself was present, and Shishupal was also present. And we also discussed as how Shishupal was so envious of the Supreme Lord, and after criticizing 99 times, and in the 100th time when he criticized the devotees of the Lord, that was the time the Lord invoked the Sudarshan Chakra, and he did the first ever laser surgery that just cut the neck of Shishupal, and Shishupal died. And from there we discuss as to how this was nothing but the curse of the four Kumaras who were the sons of Brahmaji. Four Kumaras, the sons of Brahma, wanted to go and meet the Supreme Lord Vishnu, and Jai and Vijay, who were the doorkeepers, who were the Dwarpals, they stopped the four Kumaras. And because the four Kumaras were stopped, they were stopped from taking darshan of the Lord. They got angry and they cursed Jai and Vijay to become demons in the material world. So this is a quick review, a quick recap of what we covered last time. So today we will be continuing from the point where we left off. The four Kumaras are nothing but they are the sons of Brahmaji. As we know that Brahma is the creator, and the four Kumaras are the oldest sons of Brahmaji. Sanak, Sanandana, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumar are the four sons. So they had heard about the glories of Lord Vishnu. From where? From the lips of their father, that is Brahmaji. Brahmaji, when he was discussing, when he was giving a Bhagavatam class, he spoke about the glories of the Supreme Lord Vishnu. And the four Kumaras, the sons of Brahma, they were so enamored by the beauty of Lord Vishnu that they could not resist. Just like the iron filings are naturally attracted to the magnet, here Vishnu was the magnet and the four Kumaras were like the iron filings. The moment they heard about Vishnu from their father Brahma, they were pulled, they were attracted to go and see Lord Vishnu. So they reached Vaikuntha, and in Vaikuntha there were 7 gates that Prabhupada describes in the 3rd canto. There were 7 gates, and at the end of the 7th gate is where Jai and Vijay were standing and protecting Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi ji. So we find a similar pattern in Krishna Leela also. When Krishna appeared in the jail, in the prison house, there were many gates that was present. And every time Vasudeva Maharaj was holding on to Krishna, and when he was nearing, when he was approaching that gate, the gate would naturally open. The gate would naturally open, and then the gate that was ahead, that would open, and then the gate that was ahead, that would open. So similarly here, the 4 Kumaras, when they reached Vaikuntha, the first gate naturally opened, and then the second gate opened, the third gate opened. And in this way, all the 6 gates opened, and now they were standing on the 7th gate. They were standing face to face in front of Jai and Vijay. And when Jai and Vijay, the doorkeepers, when they saw the 4 Kumaras, they had trident in their hands. Like, we find many times when we approach a place where there is strong security, we have police officers and we have guards who have a pistol, or they have a big revolver and they have a big gun, just to make sure that things are intact. So similarly here, Jai and Vijay, they were not having an AK-47 or they were not having a gun, but they were having a trident. So both of them were holding a trident in their hand. And when they saw the 4 Kumaras, they immediately placed the trident to the ground, like, this way, keeping the trident down to the ground. And the 4 Kumaras, they were very small. They were very young. Like in the Bhagavatam, if you find, we will see the pictures of the 4 Kumaras who are very small, less than 5 years of age, but very effulgent and very scriptural and very knowledgeable. So when they were stopped this way, the 4 Kumaras became very angry. And they said that, you think we are some thief? You think that we are going to go inside and cause some harm to Lord Vishnu? Don't you realize that we are the sons of Brahma, who's the creator? And we heard about the glories of Lord Vishnu. That is why we developed a desire to come and meet Lord Vishnu. But seems like you're like one of those demons who is not allowing us to go and meet the Supreme Lord. And when this discussion was going on, the four Kumaras became so angry that they were stopped, that they immediately pronounced a curse. They said that even though you are in Vaikuntha, you are having this tendency like people of the material world. This is a very strong statement. Kumaras, the four Kumaras are making this point that people of this material world are naturally Bahirmukha. They have naturally turned their face away from Krishna. They have naturally turned their face away from Lord Vishnu. So the four Kumaras tell Jay and Vijay that seems like you're someone from the material world. You're not allowing us to go and meet Vishnu. You're acting as a barrier. And because you are acting as a barrier, we pronounce this curse that may you go and fall in the material world. May you live amongst those people who are inimical to the Lord. So when this curse was pronounced, Jay and Vijay, they fell at the feet of the four Kumaras. And they said, no, we didn't mean to offend you. We were just protecting. We are meant as dwarpals, we are meant as doorkeepers. So we were just protecting. But please forgive us. Please take this curse back. And now we know that when the curse is pronounced, the curse cannot be taken back. There can be some modification, but the curse cannot be taken back. So when this curse was pronounced, Vishnu, who was present inside with Lakshmi ji, he understood that the four Kumaras have cursed. So immediately Lord Vishnu with Lakshmi ji, he came outside. Lord Vishnu had a nice mukut. He had nice bracelet. He had a nice waist belt. There was Kaustubha money. There were jewels and emeralds and diamonds. There was an armlet. Not an omelette, but an armlet. There was an armlet that the Lord was wearing and beautifully decorated. And to accompany him was Lakshmi ji, who was the goddess of opulence, who was opulence personified. So when both of them came, the four Kumaras were completely stunned. When they looked at this form, they were completely stunned. And at that time, Shukadeva Goswami in the third canto, he describes that there was a transformation in the heart of the four Kumaras. Tasyaravinda nayanasya padaravinda kinjalka mishra tulasi makaranda vayu antargatasva vivarena chakara tesham Sangshobham Aksharajusham Apichitta Tanvo. In the third canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, this verse comes up in a discussion between Vidura and Maitreya Muni. And what does it describe? Tasya Ravinda Nayanasya. Nayana means eyes. So the eyes of Lord Vishnu is described. How are the eyes? Tasya Ravinda. Aravinda means lotus. So the lotus eyes of the Supreme Lord. Tasya Ravinda Nayanasya Padaravinda. Aravinda again means lotus, and Pada means the lotus feet. So when that lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, when it came outside to meet the four Kumaras, that lotus-eyed Lord, when he placed his glance on the four Kumaras, what happened? Kinjalka Mishra Tulasi Makaranda Vayu. Kinjalka means saffron. You see, many times we offer saffron to the Lord. Kinjalka means saffron. Kinjalka Mishra Tulasi. When Kinjalka, saffron, and Tulasi were mixed together, Makaranda Vayu, when the breeze carried the aroma of the Tulsi that was mixed with saffron, what happened? Tasya Ravinda Nayanasya Padaravinda Kinjalka Mishra Tulasi Makaranda Vayu Antargatasva Vivarena Chakara Tesham. When that aroma, when it entered into the nostrils of the four Kumaras, which aroma? That aroma of Tulsi leaf, which was mixed with saffron, which was offered to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. When that aroma entered the nostrils of the four Kumaras, Sangshobham Aksharajusham Apichitta Tanvo. There was a complete transformation in the heart, complete transformation in the mind. Their heart completely melted. And they looked at Jai and Vijay. Few moments back, they had pronounced a curse, and now their heart completely melted seeing this form of the Lord. And at that time, Lord Vishnu understood that the four Kumaras, their hearts have melted. But Lord Vishnu, he asked for forgiveness on behalf of Jay and Vijay. He said that y'all came to meet me, but my doorkeepers were not aware. They weren't aware that you are the sons of Brahma. So they committed a mistake. So on their behalf, I am asking for forgiveness. Lord Vishnu, who's the Lord of all lords, who's the Lord of Brahmaji, he was asking forgiveness from the sons of Kumaras for his own devotee, Jay and Vijay. That is how much the Lord loves his devotee. He is ready to ask forgiveness for the sake of his own devotee. So when the Lord asked forgiveness, the four Kumaras felt really bad. They thought to themselves that we came here to see the Supreme Lord, but seems like we have caused some harm to the Lord. The Lord is asking for forgiveness. What is this? We came to give happiness to the Lord, but because of our curse, the Lord is asking forgiveness for his own devotee. So at that time, the four Kumaras, they told Jay and Vijay, and they told Lord Vishnu that, my dear Lord, you know that we cannot take the curse back, but we would like to do some modification. So Jay and Vijay were curious. What was the modification? The four Kumaras said that we give you two options. Either you live in this material world for 7 lifetimes by performing bhakti, by performing devotion to the Lord, and after 7 lifetimes you come back to Vishnu. The second option that we give you is you stay for 3 lifetimes, but in those 3 lifetimes you are envious of the Lord. So you have two options. Either you live for 7 lifetimes by performing bhakti, and after 7 lifetimes you come back to Lord Vishnu, or you live for 3 lifetimes as inimical to the Lord by being envious to the Lord, and after 3 lifetimes you again come back. So the choice is yours. And the moment the four Kumaras, they said this, Jay and Vijay said 3 lifetimes, 3 lifetimes. We don't want to live for 7 lifetimes. After 3 lifetimes, we want to come back. Even if we are envious of the Lord, it is okay. But we don't want to get separated from the Lord for 7 lifetimes. So we are ready. For 3 lifetimes, we will be inimical. We will be envious of the Lord. So that is how, because of the modification of that curse, Jay and Vijay were cursed to come down 3 lifetimes by being envious of the Lord in the form of Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, Ravana and Kumbhakarna, and finally Shishupal and Dantavakra. But here comes an interesting point. Did Jay and Vijay actually commit a Vaishnava aparad to the four Kumaras? Or did the four Kumaras commit a Vaishnava aparad by cursing Jay and Vijay? Was there a Vaishnava aparad committed from either of the side? Now, to understand this, first we have to see what does Vaishnava aparad actually mean. The word aparad, like many times we say Nam aparad, Vaishnava aparad, deity aparad, and so many other aparads that we have. What does aparad mean? Radha basically means satisfaction, and apa means diminishing. So that activity that causes a reduction in the satisfaction of performing bhakti, that activity that reduces our satisfaction in performing Krishna bhakti is called as aparad. Radha means satisfaction and apa means diminishing. So any activity that is performed that brings about a reduction in taste, a reduction in taste for chanting the holy name, a reduction in taste for deity worship, a reduction in taste for hearing the pastimes of the Lord, a reduction in taste for serving the devotees of the Lord. Whenever our taste goes down, at that time we have to understand that we have committed a Vaishnava aparad, because that is the definition of aparad. Whenever taste goes down, it is clear that we have committed a Vaishnava aparad. Now, in the case of Jay and Vijay, Jay and Vijay stopped the four Kumaras from entering and meeting Lord Vishnu. And because of that, they came down to this world and they were envious of the Lord. They were inimical to the Lord. Now the question arises, based on the definition, Vaishnava aparad is anything that causes a reduction in taste. When Jay and Vijay came down, they became demons. Did they lose their taste? Yes, they lost their taste, because as Jay and Vijay, they were devoted to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. But when they came as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu and other demons, they were envious of the Lord. They wanted to fight the Lord. They were inimical of the Lord. So there was a reduction in taste from what they had in the form of Jay and Vijay. So that means Jay and Vijay actually performed a Vaishnava aparad. There was a mistake from their end. But now we see from the side of the four Kumaras. Did the four Kumaras commit a Vaishnava aparad? No. Why? Because the four Kumaras pronounced a curse, but even after cursing Jay and Vijay, their taste in bhakti did not decrease. Their satisfaction, their devotion unto the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu did not decrease. It was still the same. So from this episode, we understand that because Jay and Vijay's taste for bhakti decreased, they committed a Vaishnava aparad. But because the four Kumaras, their taste did not decrease, they did not commit a Vaishnava aparad. Another example, if we go one canto prior, that is the sixth canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, we have the famous pastime of Chitraketu Maharaj. We find Chitraketu Maharaj was so purified that he was going back home, back to Godhead. And when he was going back home, back to Godhead, he made a remark. He made us a remark against Lord Shiva. And Parvati, when she heard that, she became very angry and she pronounced the curse. Now, Chitraketu Maharaj made a remark, Parvati cursed him, and in the next life, whom did Chitraketu Maharaj reincarnate as? He reincarnated as Vritrasur. Now the question arises, when he came as Vritrasur, did his bhakti go down? Did he lose taste in bhakti? No, because we find in Canto 6, chapter 11, text 24, 25, 26, and 27, Vritrasur chants wonderful prayers that no demon can ever chant. He clearly demonstrates that whatever bhakti he had in the form of Chitraketu, that was being carried in the form of Vritrasur. So in the pastime of Chitraketu and Vritrasur, we find that because Chitraketu Maharaj's devotion, because his bhakti did not reduce, because his attachment to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna did not reduce, it is for this reason we conclude that Chitraketu Maharaj did not commit a Vaishnava aparad. So this is an easy way of figuring out the next time when we lose taste, we can decipher that it is because of some Vaishnava aparad. It is because of some aparad that my taste in bhakti has gone down. But now, here are circumstances where Jay and Vijay knew that they committed a aparad against the four Kumaras. Or in the case of Chitraketu Maharaj, he made a comment against Parvati. So they knew the personalities. But sometimes in our life, there are circumstances where unintentionally a devotee can misunderstand us. We may not intend to criticize, but sometimes unintentionally, there may be some misunderstanding and he may take it as Vaishnava aparad. Like for example, in Bhakti Ratnakar, the author who is Narahari Chakravarti, he gives a very beautiful pastime. Once our Rupa Goswami, who is the fountainhead, once Rupa Goswami was in meditation in Vrindavan Dham. And when he was in meditation, he was beautifully thinking of the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. And in his meditation, in his samadhi, what he saw was the gopis and the manjaris. They were decorating Srimati Radharani. They were doing all the makeup for Srimati Radharani. And behind one tree, Sri Krishna was standing and watching everything. So the gopis and manjaris, they knew that Krishna is standing behind, but Radharani had no idea. Radharani was having her back towards Krishna. So Krishna all through was seeing how Radharani is being decorated. And the gopis and manjaris also did not say anything. So after Radhika was completely decorated, they gave a mirror to Srimati Radharani so that Radharani can look at herself. We see that is why even in our deity worship tradition, after the deities are dressed, we see that a mirror is always shown to the Lord. Just like we see in the mirror and see whether we are okay. Similarly, the Lord is shown the mirror just to make sure that the Lord is satisfied. So if we have not observed, tomorrow morning we can see that when the deities are during Shringar time, after the deities are dressed, a beautiful mirror is shown to the Lord. So here Radharani was dressed. The gopis and the manjaris, they dressed Srimati Radharani and they gave a mirror to Srimati Radharani. And when Radharani looked at the mirror, she saw that Krishna was standing behind. So immediately Radharani looked down and she became completely ashamed because she was there amidst her friends and she didn't expect that Krishna was there behind. So immediately she looked down and she was ashamed and she was embarrassed. And she was looking at Lalita and Vishaka and saying, "Why didn't you tell me? Krishna was standing behind. You should have told me. You are my best friend." But Lalita and Vishaka were all laughing. And at that time, Rupa Goswami, who was seeing all this in meditation, when he saw this whole scene, Rupa Goswami started to laugh. He was thinking that, oh, Radharani has been tricked. He was saying the whole pastime and in bliss, he was laughing. But what happened was when he was laughing, at that time, a devotee came to meet Rupa Goswami. But Rupa Goswami's eyes were closed. So Rupa Goswami did not understand. And a devotee by the name Krishna Das, he came to meet. Now, interestingly, this devotee Krishna Das, he was lame. So when he saw Rupa Goswami laughing this way, he felt that, oh, Rupa Goswami is laughing at me. He felt that I am lame and Rupa Goswami seeing me is laughing at me. So he felt very bad. He thought to himself that Rupa Goswami is so exalted and he's above the bodily conception. But why is he laughing at me? I know I am lame, but he shouldn't be laughing at me. So he felt very offended and he went to Sanatan Goswami, who was the guru of Srila Rupa Goswami. He went to Sanatan Goswami and he described the whole scene. He said that I went to meet Rupa Goswami, but Rupa Goswami he looked at me and he was laughing. When all this happened, Rupa Goswami lost vision. That pastime which he was so immersed in, that he was constantly seeing, it became blurred. He could not see anything. So immediately Rupa Goswami opened his eyes and he understood that something wrong has happened. He understood that probably someone came to meet me, and because I was so immersed in this pastime, because of my actions, he would have felt offended. That's the reason I have lost vision to this pastime. So immediately he ran to his spiritual master Sanatan Goswami. And when he ran to Sanatan Goswami, Krishna Das was also present. So when Rupa Goswami understood the misunderstanding that had happened, Rupa Goswami asked for forgiveness and he explained the whole scene as to what had happened. He explained as to how he was meditating on this pastime and how Radharani, when she saw the mirror, she felt embarrassed. And it is for this reason Rupa Goswami laughed. So when Krishna Das, he understood this, he also asked for forgiveness. And likewise, Rupa Goswami also asked for forgiveness. And when Rupa Goswami asked for forgiveness, that pastime, which was interrupted, which was buffering, it again came in front of the vision of Srila Rupa Goswami. What can we learn from this pastime? Rupa Goswami actually did not commit any offense. How can he commit an offense? He is the fountainhead of our sampradaya. We are called as Rupa Anugas. Anuga means follower and Rupa means Rupa Goswami. We are the followers of Rupa Goswami, and Rupa Goswami can never commit, he can never make any mistakes. Just like Srila Prabhupada doesn't make any mistake, similarly Rupa Goswami doesn't make any mistake. But the reason this pastime occurred is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used Rupa Goswami as an instrument to teach the world that sometimes aparadh can be caused even by misunderstanding. If it can happen with Rupa Goswami, it can happen with any one of us. Sometimes we will say something in the form of criticism, which is intentional probably. And sometimes, like in the case of Rupa Goswami, there may be instances where we may not intend to criticize the Vaishnava, but because of misunderstanding, that Vaishnava will take it as Vaishnava Aparadha. So now the question that arises, how do we rectify the Vaishnava Aparadha? What is the solution? We have understood, we saw the definition of Vaishnava Aparadha. We saw the examples in the form of Jai Vijay. We saw the example of 4 Kumaras. We saw the example of Chitraketu Maharaj and Vratarasur. We saw the example of Rupa Goswami in the form of misunderstanding that comes from Bhakti Ratnakara. But now the solution arises. The question arises, what is the solution? We know the problem, but what is the solution for it? Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj would always make this point that if we know unto whom we have committed a Vaishnava Aparadh, we should straight away go and ask for forgiveness. We should fall at that feet of that Vaishnava, give obeisances to that Vaishnava and ask for forgiveness. Till the time we don't ask for forgiveness from that Vaishnava, till that time we are not cleansed of our Vaishnava aparadha. Vaishnava aparadha is like a sword hanging on our throat. It will chop, it will cut anytime. So if we know unto whom we have committed a Vaishnava aparadha, then we should straight away go and ask for forgiveness, ask for repentance. And we should tell that devotee and tell the Supreme Lord that, my dear Lord, from this day on, I will not commit the same aparadha. I committed once, I have asked for forgiveness, but from today, my dear Lord, I will not commit the same mistake. But now this is applicable for that person whom we know we have committed Vaishnava aparadha. What if we commit a Vaishnava aparadha unintentionally, like the way it happened to Rupa Goswami? What is the solution for that? Well, the solution for that is the scriptures describe. We can chant a very beautiful verse every single day, whether morning, evening, or night, before going to bed, after waking up. The first thing is we can chant this verse and ask forgiveness from the Lord, that, my dear Lord, unintentionally I may have offended devotees. You, as the supreme controller, as a supreme master, my dear Lord, you please forgive me. So the scriptures very beautifully, it says, aparada sahasrani kriyante aharnisham maya dasoham iti mam matva shamasva madhusudana. What does this verse mean? Aparada sahasrani. Sahasra means 1,000. My dear Lord, aparada sahasrani. My dear Lord, I would have committed thousands and thousands and billions and zillions and quadrillions of offenses. And most of the offenses I don't even know unto whom I've committed. Aparada sahasrani kriyante aharnisham maya. Day in and day out, I've committed so many offenses. But dasoham iti mamatva. My dear Lord, please consider me your das. Please consider me your servant. And kshamasva Madhusudana. O Madhusudan, O Krishna, O Brajendranandan Shamsundar, O Neelamadav, please consider me your servant and purify me. Forgive me of the offenses that I've committed unintentionally. I have no control over the offenses that I've committed unintentionally. But my dear Lord, you know unto whom I've committed these offenses. I ask for forgiveness. My dear Lord, you please forgive me. So if you chant this prayer every single day, morning, evening, night, after we get up, before going to bed, then at least we are sure that we are asking at least for repentance from the Supreme Lord Madhusudan. So in this way we find Jai and Vijay, they committed a Vaishnava aparadha, and because of which they came down as, in the first life, they came down as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Now, these names that we have, as we have discussed in the past, they have a positive connotation and a negative connotation. But here in the case of Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, because they were so envious of the Lord, the word Hiranyaksha, Aksha basically means eyes, and Hiranya means gold. So Hiranya means gold and Aksha means eyes. So Hiranyaksha means that personality who has his eyes always set on gold. His eyes are always hunting for gold. His eyes are always wanting for gold. Where can I find gold? Where can I find emeralds? Where can I find rubies? Where can I find pearls? Where can I find these jewels? That personality who has this tendency, he is no different from Hiranyaksha. The person may be dead and gone, but these tendencies are still present. Like Ravana may be dead and gone, but that pravriti, that tendency is still present in the hearts of many. So likewise, Hiranyaksha means, Aksha means eyes and Hiranya means gold. That person whose eyes are always looking out for gold is Hiranyaksha. What does Hiranyakashipu mean? Hiranya again means gold and Kashipu means bed, which means that person who is always looking for gold and is always spending his time on the bed, always sleeping, getting up late, getting up at 9 and 10 and 11 in the morning. That person is not different from Hiranyakashipu, because Kashipu means bed, always spending time. Most of the time he's always on bed and his eyes are again wanting for gold. So we find even till this date, there are people who love bed and at the same time they also love gold. So Hiranyakashipu may be dead and gone, but that tendency is still present in the heart of many. So Hiranyaksha, whose eyes are always looking for gold, he had heard that in Earth planet, in Mother Earth, Bhumi Devi has lot of gold. She has lot of jewels and lot of emeralds. So naturally what he did was he decided to kidnap Mother Earth. He decided to kidnap the whole Earth planet. And because he was very powerful, he picked up the whole Earth planet and he took Earth planet along with himself. When the Earth planet was gone, at that time there was a king by the name Manu Maharaj. Manu Maharaj went to Brahmaji and Manu Maharaj said that, "Oh Brahma, you are Vidhata, you are the creator." Brahmaji said, "Yes, what's the problem? How can I help you?" He said, "Mother Earth is not there. Bhumi Devi is not present." Brahma said, "What do you mean Bhumi Devi is not present? She was there even yesterday." He said, "Yeah, she was there yesterday, but she is not present. Hiranyaksha has taken Mother Earth along with himself because he's in search for gold. And somehow he has this feeling that Mother Earth has a lot of gold. So the conclusion is Mother Earth is not there at her place. She has been kidnapped. Brahmaji, you please help." Brahma said, "Well, I may be the creator, but I'm not so powerful that I can fight Hiranyaksha." Hiranyaksha was very powerful. So Brahma said, "I'm not so powerful." So Manu Maharaj said, "I don't know. You are the creator. You have to give the solution. Please help me." So at that time, when this discussion was going on, Brahmaji, he sneezed. The gods, the Supreme Lord somehow orchestrates his pastime such that it is very difficult for any one of us to fathom. So when this discussion was going on, Brahmaji sneezed. And when Brahmaji sneezed, from the nostril of Brahma came a small piglet, a baby pig, a small piglet came, which was the size, of a small seed. And amidst Brahma and amidst Manu Maharaj and amidst so many others, this small piglet began to increase in size, so much so that in no time, this piglet became as huge like that of a mountain. It was huge in size. And dear devotees, no guesses. It was none other than Varahadev. Varahadev appeared from the nostril of Brahmaji when Brahmaji sneezed. That is why we find Jayadev Goswami very beautifully he says, Keshavadrita Sukararopa Jai Jagadisha Hare. Keshavadrita Sukararopa Jai Jagadisha Hare. Because Sukar, even in Hindi we find Sukar means a pig. In Vrindavan we find there are so many pigs that are wandering and tasting the dust of Vrajadham, Chintamani Dham, Chintamani Raj. So the Supreme Lord, he appeared from the nostril of Brahmaji, and in no time, from being a piglet, he increased his size and became like that of a mountain. And Sripad Belvamangala Thakur, he makes this point in his work. He describes as to how gigantic was Varahadev. He says, Yadroma Randra Paripurti Vibhava Daksha Varaha Janmani Babuha Ramis Samudra. He says that if the waters of all the oceans are collected and if they are poured on one of the hair pore of Varahadev, the hair pore of Varahadev is so large and so huge and so gigantic that even after taking waters of all the oceans, still it will not overflow. That is the size of one hair pore of Varahadev. We can imagine if waters of all the oceans, all the rivers, all the lakes around the globe, if they're brought at one place and if they're poured at one hair pore of Varahadev, still Bilva Mangala Thakur says that water will not overflow. So we can imagine if this is the size and this is the capacity of one hair pore, what will be the size of the Supreme Lord Varahadev? Unimaginable, gigantic, huge, humongous. That Varahadev appeared in the presence of Brahmaji and Manu Maharaj, and he reassured. He said, "Don't worry, I will protect. I will restore Mother Earth." So Varahadev, with this intention, he jumped into the waters where Hiranyaksha had drowned Mother Earth. In fact, the scriptures described Hiranyaksha was so demoniac that he took Mother Earth and drowned her in Rasatal, one of the lower planetary systems. As we know, there are 7 upper planetary systems. Then we have, in the middle, we have Earth planet, and then we have 7 lower planetary systems. So Hiranyaksha took Mother Earth and he drowned her down in Rasatal. He had kept Mother Earth there. So Varahadev, being the Supreme Lord, he had jumped into the waters. And with the indentation, we find Varahadev has an indentation like a tusk. So with that, he carried Mother Earth in that indentation and he rescued her and was coming back to the surface of the water. Interestingly, at that time, Hiranyaksha was not present. He had just gone out. He had gone out for a sightseeing. So he was kind of roaming, and he was not present when the Supreme Lord as Varahadev rescued Mother Earth. So when he was wandering, Hiranyaksha was wandering this way. Hiranyaksha went to Narad Muni. He went to Narad Rishi, and he told Narad Rishi that, "Oh Narad Muni, it's been long that I have not stretched my arms. It's been long that I have not fought with someone. Do you have someone in mind who is as strong and as capable as I am so that I can stretch my arms and fight with him so that we can have a strong and a powerful battle? Is there anyone in this whole world who can battle and who can be of the same caliber as I am?" Because we find that, oh, at least if someone is following cricket, we find that if Australia is playing Namibia or if Australia is playing Bermuda, it's not a very tough competition because Australia is one of the top ranked cricket teams and Bermuda is not there anywhere. So it's like a one-sided affair. And there's not much fun that we can derive from that. But if Australia is playing South Africa or Australia is playing India, then it's like a tough battle of the giants. So similarly, Hiranyaksha did not want to fight anyone because no one was as powerful as he was. So when he went to Narad Rishi and he posed this question that, "Oh Narad Muni, is there anyone who's as powerful as I am who can battle and fight me?" At that time, Narad Muni is a very interesting personality. He will speak in such a way that it will always seem that he's taking the side of demons. Like in the case of Kamsa Maharaj also, the first child when appeared from the womb of Devaki, Kamsa Maharaj did not kill that child because he was under the assumption that it is the eighth child who will kill. But it was Narad Muni who went and instigated Kamsa and said that you don't know who is going to be the eighth child. You are under the assumption that the eighth child is from the calculation of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But what if the eighth child has taken appearance as first? He kind of completely confused Kamsa Maharaj. And it was Narad Muni who told Kamsa that you start killing all these children. Don't keep them alive because you never know that if this child grows up and he takes his revenge against you, you may be defeated by their might. You may be defeated by their power. So you start killing all of them. So there also we find in Krishna Leela, it is Narad Muni who instigated Kamsa Maharaj. And here also, when Hiranyaksha went to Narad Muni very interestingly, he says, "Hiranyaksha, you know, you had kidnapped Mother Earth. You have Mother Earth, that Mother Earth for whom you strived so much, and that Mother Earth who actually belongs to you." Hiranyaksha said, yeah, I know. What happened to Mother Earth? She actually belongs to me." Narad Muni said, "There is a bad news." Hiranyaksha said, "What is the bad news, O Narad Rishi?" He said, "That Mother Earth whom you strived and collected, that Mother Earth, Vishnu, in the form of Varahadev, has rescued, and he is taking Mother Earth along with himself. So I think you should go, instead of wasting time here, you should go and fight with Varahadev and you should reclaim Mother Earth." So Narad Muni, instead of stopping Hiranyaksha, he kind of instigated him So Hiranyaksha became furious. And when he came back, he saw that the Supreme Lord had already come out of the waters and was holding Mother Earth on his indentation, on his tusk. So Hiranyaksha, when he saw this, he became very angry. And he said that this calls for a fight. Mother Earth belongs to me. I took charge of Mother Earth. I have fought for Mother Earth. So she actually belongs to me. And Vishnu, you have no right, you have no power, you have no capability to take charge of Mother Earth. She belongs to me. And if you want the possession of Mother Earth, then you should fight with me. So when this discussion was going on between Hiranyaksha and Varahadev, Mother Earth became very afraid. She was thinking that if both of them fight, what will happen to me? In the course of their battle, I will get injured. So the Supreme Lord, as Paramatma, he understood. And Varahadev kept Mother Earth to the side. And he told Mother Earth that you stay here. Here you are safe. And in the meantime, I will battle Hiranyaksha. So with a gadha, with a club, Varahadev and Hiranyaksha, they began to fight with each other. And this battle went on for quite some time. And at the end, the Supreme Lord demonstrated his power and killed and ripped apart Hiranyaksha into complete pieces. So Hiranyaksha was completely killed and Mother Earth was restored back to the same position by Varahadev. Now, there may be a question. Why are we discussing about Varahadev and Hiranyaksha? The reason is when Varahadev killed Hiranyaksha, this news reached the ears of Hiranyakashipu, who was the brother, who was the older brother of Hiranyaksha. When this news reached the ears of Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyakashipu became very angry. His eyes were fuming. His eyes were red. And he became so angry. He thought to himself that my brother was so pious. This is what Hiranyakashipu felt. He thought my brother was so pious. He was so obedient. He did not cause any harm to anyone. Then why is it that Vishnu killed my brother? My brother did not do any harm to anyone. But Vishnu, in the form of Varaha, in the form of a wild boar, he came and he killed my brother. It is time I take revenge from Vishnu. This Vishnu, who always proclaims that he has no duality, it seems that he is taking the side of demigods and killing all of us. So before this, Hiranyakashipu had nothing against Vishnu. But when he got to know that his brother was killed at the hands of the Supreme Lord Varahadev, this is what sparked envy. This is what placed the seed of envy in the heart of Hiranyakashipu. When Hiranyakashipu gets to know his brother is killed, he calls for a meeting of all his demoniac families and he announces that how Hiranyaksha has been killed and how he is planning to take revenge from the Supreme Lord Vishnu. So in this way we find in this section the seed of enmity was placed in the heart. The seed of envy was placed in the heart of Hiranyakashipu because Lord Vishnu killed his dear brother Hiranyaksha. What happens ahead will be the topic of discussion in our future session. Having said this, I stop here. Shri Narasimhadeva Bhagavan ki jai, Shri Varahadev ki jai, Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.